Talk about an incredible story of survival. It's so nice because we know those tornadoes were so devastating for so many. And when you hear a story like that, it gives you a little glimmer of hope, right?
I know those stories, believe it or not, I feel like we hear them more often than you would expect.
Good point.
Miracles in the most chaotic of scenarios. Pretty impressive stuff.
We have a pretty bad storm heading our way. Not sure if tornadoes would be involved, but you have been talking about flooding, lots of high winds especially, right?
Yes. So this particular storm has a history of producing just one tornado down in South Carolina, likely tornado. For us, the risk is minimal for any tornadic activity, but certainly flooding, high winds, which could lead to tree limbs coming down, entire trees, and power problems are a realistic future for us. So let's go ahead and take a live look outside. At this moment in time, as we look down at the rink, you can see the rain piling up there. The winds are beginning to pick up. It is warm, 58 degrees. Winds are out of the southeast at 16. The shimmy on the camera, courtesy of those winds beginning to pick up. Now, here is the storm system that is making its way through the region right now, but the worst of it still to come. Conditions become less and less palatable as we make our way through the overnight into the wee hours of the morning. All the circles you see on your screen, these are wind and damage reports from this storm. D.C., one of the latest reports to come in about 2 feet of water on a roadway. That is something we can anticipate here in the tri-state area. Some roadways closed off because of flooding as we make our way overnight into the morning. And of course, powerful wind gusts as well. The max wind gust so far reported 67 miles per hour. That was in South Carolina. What can we expect here? As I mentioned, more flooding, high winds as well, damaging wind that could lead to power outages. The flash flood risk is about 20% for vast majority of the tri-state area. As far as winds go, in the Marigold, we're looking at potential for winds to gust 60 miles per hour. In the Brown, that's a wind advisory. Gusts up to 50 are possible. Notice where there is no wind advisory or warning. That is well north and west of the city. Here it will still be windy, but not nearly as impressive as those winds will be near the coastline. Now, the winds do drive coastal flooding concerns. In the dark green, our biggest concerns for high tide cycles. This is where we could see 2 to 3 feet of inundation over land. In the light green, 1 to 2 feet. High tide cycles run roughly between the midnight hour here, this in Long Beach, New York, to about 3 a.m., in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And then our afternoon high tide cycle, well, in Long Beach begins at 12:18 and in Bridgeport, Connecticut, 3:27. Seabright, New Jersey at 1:14. So this is the time range when we'll see the biggest impacts from coastal flooding. Hour by hour with this storm, 2 a.m. is where we start things off. You see the heavier rain moving into the region. 5 a.m. people trying to make their way to work starting around now, and things are just ugly out there with a persistent push of light, moderate, and at times very heavy rainfall. Here we are at 1 o'clock. The wettest weather is pushing to the east and out of here. Skies begin drying through the afternoon. Temperatures are crumbling. Tuesday, it's cold enough to see some flurries. Please be mindful. The heaviest rain, the most powerful winds roll in between the hours of about 2 a.m. and 9 a.m. during that morning commute. Red alert day tomorrow. Tuesday, much calmer, 42. Some flurries. Then on Wednesday, it's sunshine, 44. Thursday, 46, partly sunny. Then winter begins at night. Friday, it's 43 with sun. Christmas Eve looking beautiful, pushing 50.
All right. Thank you, Vanessa.